During your vacation or holiday in a Spanish speaking country, it is going to be important to understand and recognize different numbers. I consider learning numbers essential vocabulary for a trip because sometimes you need to know what number am I on the train? What number am I on this group tour? Or perhaps something leaves at a specific time and you need to know what that time is in Spanish. Oftentimes, in many Spanish speaking countries, they use military time, which means they will use up to 13, 14, 15, 16 to say 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. For that reason, I choose to teach 1 to 20. But past then, I really don't think it's essential vocabulary for you to learn at this point in your Spanish speaking journey. So let's get started together. We have uno, 1, dos, 2, tres, 3, cuatro, 4, cinco, 5, seis, 6, siete, 7, ocho, 8, nueve, 9, 10, 10, once, 11, doce, 12. Okay, great job. You do not need to memorize these at all, but I want you to be able to familiarize yourself a bit with, uno means 1. That's perhaps the most important number to know, okay? Or maybe even 2, dos. Don't memorize everything, but begin to recognize what they look like and what they sound like. We just learned the numbers 1 to 12. Let's continue from 13 to 20. Starting with 13, trece, 14, catorce, 15, quince, 16, dieciséis, 17, diecisiete, 18, dieciocho, 19, diecinueve, 20, veinte. Okay, wonderful, wonderful job. So, you can see that with once, 11, doce, 12, trece, 13, catorce, 14, and quince, 15, all of these words, the last two letters are CE. They end with a se. Okay, but starting with 16 to 19, they actually have the word 6, seis, 7, siete, 8, ocho, 9, nueve. But in front of those words, in front of those numbers, is the word dieci. Okay, so these patterns are kind of fun and important to take note of because it can help you remember, right, starting at 16, it changes a bit. And then 20 is doing its own thing all over again with veinte. Wonderful job. When learning our essential vocabulary with numbers, we're going to see some examples in the real world of when we would use it and when we wouldn't. In this example, I have, I want a coffee. Okay, remember in Spanish, 1 is uno or una. Una is the feminine, uno is the masculine. Okay, so quiero un café means I want a coffee. You might be wondering, why don't I say quiero uno café? Because that's I want one coffee. If I'm saying I want a coffee, the word for that is un. Quiero un café. And it's going to be un because café is masculine. Great job, and let's go to the next example together. So we just learned how to say I want a coffee, but if I want to say I want 2 coffees, we are going to use the number 2. Remember, we just learned that 2 is dos. So if I want to say I want 2 coffees, Quiero dos cafés. Okay, pretty easy. It's the same if I want to say I want 3 coffees. Quiero 3 cafés. Pretty simple. Okay, vamos a la próxima. Let's go to the next one. Our essential vocabulary includes numbers because we oftentimes talk about numbers when we're talking about the hour that we have to go somewhere. For example, let's go at 7. The way that we're going to say this in Spanish is vamos a las 7. Let's go at 7. We're going at 7. This comes from the verb ir, which is to go. And if we're saying it for us, which remember in Spanish is the pronoun, the pronombre, nosotros, we change it to vamos. Vamos a las 7. Let's go at 7. Maybe we're saying let's go at 9. We could say vamos a las 9. Okay? Vamos a las 9. Perfect job. And let's go to the next one. Let's look at another example when we would use a number to talk about the time that we need to go. For example, we have to leave at 10. Tenemos que ir a las 10. Okay, so we're using the number 10 here, 10. And instead of saying at 10 in Spanish, the way we actually translate this is at the 10. A las 10. That's why we have the las there, the article las. Okay, we're also using the verb tener here, which is to have, but we switched tener for the pronoun of nosotros. Because remember, nosotros means us or we. And it becomes tenemos. Tenemos que ir, we have to go, we have to leave a las 10, at 10. We could also say this for another number. Tenemos que ir a las 5. What do you think that might mean? Good job. We have to leave at 5. Tenemos que ir a las 11. We have to leave at 11. Okay? So once we understand and remember these numbers, they're going to come in very handy. Okay, so this is an expression or a question that you might hear oftentimes in Spanish. What time is it? ¿Qué hora es? And our response here is son las 12. It is 12. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Hora means hour. ¿Qué means what? What hour is it? What time is it? Translated into English. And then we're saying it is 12. Son las 12. We don't use es las 12. We only use es for the number 1. Okay, for example, if I'm saying it is 1, I would say es la una. But for every other number, I'm going to use the word son. Son las 12. And remember, you can use this for any other number. Son las 4. It is 4 o'clock. Son las 6. It is 6 o'clock. Okay, did that make sense? Let's keep going. Let's do another example with what time is it? ¿Qué hora es? In this example, we have it is 1. Es la una. Remember, in the other examples, we had son accompanied with las and then the number. But with the number 1, uno or una, we say es. Es la una. It is 1. Perfecto. Great job.